Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 38 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. You can see I'm taking a look at how my trees are doing here. I'm still trying to get a good tree that I'm breeding. You can see so far, I got a red spruce jungle hybrid. Okay, that doesn't sound terribly exciting. Nope, I'm definitely looking for like a better tree than that. We do have something red down here though. I want to see what this is. If I break this guy, what did I get here? This looks neat. Hill Cherry Apple Oak. Alright, that's not as exciting as I had hoped for. We already have Hill Cherry, don't we? That's what this tree is? I don't know. The trees confuse me still. I haven't gotten my mind wrapped around all the different types and all the different things available. But don't worry, it's definitely something I'm working towards getting better at. So, yeah, I'm just taking a look to see what kind of breeding has occurred here between the different leaves. Still doing my best to get things, you know, kind of cooking along. Ooh, what do we have here? That's something neat looking. I might want to actually get myself a new grafter, just because... Actually, let's test this. I'm going to use this grafter. There was a bug, and it still exists, it looks like. This might be fixed in the next version of Forestry. What happens is if you use the last last breaking of the tool, where like the tool breaks when you use it, like it just happened there, it doesn't seem like it actually gives me the item. It doesn't guarantee the sapling to drop, so it doesn't catch that dropping effect there. So make yourself a new grafter, trust me. Alright, let's see what happens now, because we definitely saw something out here, didn't we? A nifty looking sapling of some sort right there. Alright, let's see, what do I get now? Red spruce apple oak again. Alright, so not really terribly excited by what I've got so far, but that's okay. We'll kind of keep an eye on these. We're not going to do much with the tree breeding thing too much. I'm going to just kind of, you know, keep an eye on it now and again and see if we can't figure out something cool to get. You know, it's kind of a rough idea of the plan. For now, what I'd like to do is take a look at my apiaries. How are we doing? We've gotten another piece of propolis, which is good, though honestly I'd prefer more. But that's okay. We should also be kind of auto-breeding some things, not all. You can see the meadows. I haven't been auto-breeding those yet, but the tropical and forest I have, so that's cool. These guys are running along just fine. What I'd like to start working on is maybe breeding some of these bees together, and then maybe work on some of the advanced genetic machines. And I'm kind of coming up with I'm trying to work out a cool and interesting way to breed these bees automatically. So I'm going to have to figure out a neat effect there, just, you know, something cool to do. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get situated, get ready, and then I'll come back in a few when we're ready to start looking at what kind of cool stuff we can get out of these bees. Alright, let's get to it. Now guys, it just so happens that if you recall a couple episodes back, I ran into a dungeon using the moss stone there. You can see that's where the chest and the dungeon and the moss stone and all that stuff. I think I actually happened to get a common walnut sapling. How lucky is that? I'm going to tell you how lucky that is. That's really lucky, because I don't even know how to breed those things, and I think it's pretty good that we got one. So let's take a look at what the common walnut sapling can do. Now, what I think I want to do here is go ahead and grow this guy real quick. I'm going to put him right outside my house. So right over here by the cherry tree, I'm going to build this walnut sapling. Boom, just like that. And growth. Growth. You don't want to grow. Okay, common walnut sapling didn't want to grow. Not sure why that would be. Let's analyze him and see what the deal is with walnut saplings, because for some reason he didn't feel like growing. Let's see what we got here. Treealizer. He must be around somewhere. Okay, common walnut sapling. Ooh, he needs a 2x2. Alright, that's not good news for me after all. That means that I cannot grow him. He needs 2x2 to grow, and 1x1 just ain't gonna cut it. What else do we have here? Sweet chestnut sapling, teak sapling. I don't know what any of these things are. Well, I got the sequoia sapling. That's a cool one too. Let's see. Sweet chestnut sapling. Okay, that also requires a 2x2, which is bad news. And the fruits are chestnuts. Alright, well that's what walnuts give me, right? Walnuts give me walnuts. Okay, cool. Chestnuts and walnuts are different. Alright. The teak sapling is a 1x1, and that will give me nut apples. Alright, so not so much luck on that front there. I wonder if this thing will tell me how to possible mutations. Great, I guess it doesn't. Guess I have to actually get the mutation in order for it to tell me, huh? That would be far too easy. Oh, Sengir, you make everything so hard. Alright, I have to figure out a good way to get seeds. Because right now, I am suffering for some seed oil. Alright guys, it's time to talk about the different types of frames that we have available to us. Now I've already shown you impregnated frames. In just vanilla forestry you get impregnated, proven, and untreated. I kind of talked about those already, and I mentioned there's a bunch of other types of frames that are available in extra bees that have other effects, and they're going to really help us out as we're trying to breed our bees into getting new and cooler species that are going to eventually get us some really awesome stuff. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and show you the different frames that are available. Well, the first one we've got is the chocolate frame. It's real simple. 4 cocoa beans around an impregnated frame. What that does is it reduces the lifespan of a bee. It actually makes them die faster. So when you place this in there, it also increases the yield a little bit, so they'll produce a little bit more. But most important is that they'll die quicker when they're on the chocolate frame, which is good because when the bee dies is when it mutates and typically leaves behind some offspring that we're going to look for. So that's good. So basically what happens is when you combine 2 bee species, all right, let's go talk about this in the bee room because it'll be a little bit easier for me to explain to you guys in there. But basically what we're looking at here is we're trying to breed our bees, and the way to do that is take 2 species of bee, 2 different species, and put them together. And sometimes if you put the right 2 species together, for example, if we combine meadows with forest bees, we'll have a random chance for a mutation effect where it'll turn into a new species of bee. And then we're going to want to work towards getting that bee mutated and so on and so forth. So the cool thing about that is it happens when they die. So basically as soon as you combine the forest princess with the meadows drone, for example, when that bee dies, when the queen that comes together dies, it'll leave some offspring behind. So that's why death is important for the chocolate frame. Now the restraint frame can actually restrain the bee from having some of its negative side effects. So the jungle bee, for example, over here that's poisoning me when I don't have my quantum suit helmet on, the restraint frame would restrain the poison effect so it wouldn't poison me as much. But even better than that is the soul frame. This increases your chance of mutation. So if the bee dies when they have a soul frame in there, it's going to increase the likelihood of mutation a great deal, which is really good because it makes it a lot easier to mutate your bees. That guy just requires a piece of soul sand, and if you're paying attention, I already got some soul sand in my inventory. Then finally we've got the healing frame that just makes the bees' lifespan longer. It makes them live longer than they normally would. Good if you're trying to get a lot of items out of the bee, but you know what? I'd regularly go for the impregnated over the healing. And finally, we have Nova Frame. This is a creative mode only item. It is not available to get legitimately. The only way you can get that guy is to go ahead and cheat it in. So, but just FYI, what it does, I'll tell you, is real easy. It makes the bee die instantly. So the moment that it ticks over 1 life cycle, it's going to die instantly. The reason that you might want that is for testing purposes in a creative mode world. Just to mess around. Cool. Alright, so let's start looking around at the fun stuff we can do with bees. Alright, so let's try our hand at our very first mutation. I went ahead and grabbed one of the extra meadows princesses that I had in that extra bees chest. It's basically the chest where I'm storing extra bees and bee material and that kind of stuff. So let's go down here and take a look. What I'm going to do is dedicate this guy right here to being my mutation apiary. So basically anytime I want to mutate a bee from one species to another, I'm going to throw him right in here. That's the plan at least. What I'm going to do is combine the meadows princess with a forest bee. This is step 1 towards bee breeding. Now, like I said, I would like some soul frames to ensure that they, mutate a little bit better. So I'm going to grab 1, 2, 3 of these and just set them up in here. So there we go. Soul frames. Awesome. Now, soul frames are great for mutation, but if we really want to make this cool, what we should do is go get some cocoa in order to make ourselves some of those shorter lifespan bees. Because what I recommend is if you're looking to mutate these guys, the best way to do it is to get the bee almost dead, and then, once it's about to die, go ahead and swap out the soul frame with the cocoa frame. That's if you're going to be standing there doing it manually, which I won't be doing for too long. I have kind of an idea in my head on a build I'd like to do to automate some of this bee breeding. We're going to see if we can't figure it out. Unfortunately, right now, I need more cocoa beans. I've only got 4. Luckily, I happen to have memorized the UU matter recipe. You need 5 pieces of UU matter, and you simply draw it out like this. Or maybe it's like this. Something like that. Hey, there we go. 32 cocoa beans for 5 pieces of UU matter. Not bad. So if you're looking for some extra cocoa beans to handle the bee breeding mechanic, UU matter is definitely the way to go. So we can come over here. I'm going to put my soul and my cocoa beans in there. And I'm going to go ahead and get 1, 2, 3 more of these guys. Oh, need more of those sticks. It's really quick and easy to run out of sticks, which is why I've got this guy running pretty much full time anymore. But we're out of seed oil. Darn it. I really need more of that stuff. We need to figure out a way to get more and quick, because I am very soon going to need more of it. I'm going to have to come up with something if I don't get one of these, you know, nifty little tree thingies happening soon. All right, let's get this going. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay, so basically to get these bees to mutate, all you gotta do is put them together. So we've got a meadows and we've got a forest. Now I want them to die awfully quick, so I'm gonna put chocolate frames in here. Now the thing to note about this is that your queen will always be the exact same traits as the princess. So when they come together, it'll be a meadows queen because we used a meadows princess. But when they die is when they're going to leave behind some offspring that's just, you know, a little different. So let's wait a little bit here and see what happens when this queen dies. So the bee's life just ticked down the first point, and you'll note that it already lost a significant amount of health. Once it ticks down another point, I'm going to swap it out from the chocolate frames and put in the soul frames. So that's going to be an important thing for us to do. So let's just give it a moment or two here, and we should see a good thing happen. Bee's about to die. There we go. It just dropped down again. Cool. So now's when I'm going to put my soul frame in. It won't die as fast anymore. This thing will slow down a little bit, but she might be within 1 or 2 ticks of death. And then that's when the soul frame kicks in, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a mutation going on there. Nice. So let's wait for that to occur. All right, and with that, our bees died. So let's take a look at what we got here. I'm going to need my beealyzer, swap it out for the treealyzer, and let's see what kind of bees we got. We got a meadows common bee. So remember I told you guys there's 2 traits, the active and inactive trait of a bee? Well, we just ran into one that mutated. This would have been a meadows forest bee if not for the fact that that mutation occurred and gave us some common gene. So there was that random chance for mutation, and it looks like it worked. This is a forest common, and this is a forest meadows. So what you want to do at this point is kind of find the bees that have the most common in them, because what's going to happen is if you combine the forest and the meadows and the common, you know, you've only got, you know, about a 1 in 4 chance of getting some common going on here, excluding the fact that you might have mutation. But if you put 2 common in here, you've got a 1 in 2 chance. It's about a half a chance, because there's 4 species: meadows common, forest common, and if you put you know, these guys together, you have a, you know, 2 out of the 4 of these species is common. So hopefully that's the gene that gets passed down to the children. So that's what we're going to work on. Also, it's good that the meadows and the forest are the primaries, because there's an even better chance now, because those meadows and forest might mutate. Nice. So let's go ahead and see what happens this time. Alright, let's see what happened this time. Now, it looks like we got ourselves a common cultivated queen. Wow, we got really lucky at this point, actually. Look at that. Cool. And, oh, we're out of honey drops here, so we're going to need to get a bit more. Luckily, I've been having my bees produce a bunch for me. Cool. Meadows cultivated. Wow, we went straight from common to cultivated. Now the way to get to the cultivated line is to take your common drones and mix them with either forest or hybrid, and it looks like that mutation occurred here, so that's why we have some cultivated common bees here. Cultivated is a really important one to have, and it's kind of like the jumping off point to all your other bees. So what I think I'm going to actually do with this is go ahead and combine these two and hopefully get some cultivated bees, which would be really nice. Now that would be awesome. Let's go ahead and combine them. Remember I said your queen will always have the same traits as the princess. So now we just got to wait another minute or two, and hopefully what I'd like to get is a purebred cultivated princess and drone. Alright, this time I did not put the soul frames in because I really didn't want these bees to mutate any further. I'm working towards a purebred cultivated drone, and it looks like I didn't get one. So I'm going to put these, you can see they were both cultivated common that came out of there. I'm going to go ahead and throw them in and wait for another life cycle or two. While that happens, I want to kind of figure out a way to automate this, because as fun as it is to stand here and watch bees die, I think it would be a lot more fun to build an auto breeding station. Something that'll automatically figure out what kind of princess and drone it's got, and try and work its way up to the one that I target. And I think the best way to do that would be with computer craft. I think I'm going to need a turtle. So let's look at the different add-ons that we have for computer craft and how we can use this to occur. We're going to use the MISC peripherals analyzer block. You can see that guy showing up right here, the bee analyzer. It actually also has a tree analyzer, but we're not going to worry about that for the time being. We want the bee analyzer. Cool. We're going to need another bee analyzer, which I think should be pretty easy to make. If I remember, we're going to need some diamonds and a couple redstone, something along these lines. And probably, I think it was tin, wasn't it, that we needed? Yeah, I hope so, because that's what I'm getting. Cool. Let's head over to this machine and see. Yeah, that sounds about right. These guys, and tin. Cool. That should make me my Bealyzer. Nice. So what I'm going to use is a combination of computer craft programming, the Bealyzer block, the analyzer block. This guy is going to be an important role, and you know, a couple other things. So I don't think I've gotten the analyzer yet, so I'm going to need another Bealyzer for that. Oh boy. Better get myself another diamond and some redstone. So let's get all the items we're going to need together, and then I'm going to show you guys my plan, and hopefully this will work out. I've got a kind of rough draft in my head. I haven't really sorted out exactly how I want to do it just yet, but we'll get there. Alright guys, so I'm putting together a turtle. That guy's going to pretty much take care of my bee analyzing and breeding for me. It's important because the turtle has an inventory. It can actually pick up the bees and you know, do whatever we want with them. So if you watched my Season 3 series of my YouTube videos, you probably saw a automatic bee analyzing machine already. Cool. Good for you. I'm glad that you watched them because that was a fun season. What I want to do is improve upon that design and make it a little bit more efficient. So I'm making the analyzer, which is a block that works just like the Bealyzer, and that it'll take one of those unknown bees and determine all the information there is to learn about it. However, it does that in block form instead of item form, and you can use it to pump the bees in through a piping system. So we're going to build some awesome automation with this. Next up, I'm going to build that analyzer block that I told you guys about that comes from the add-on MISC peripherals. That's a block that a turtle can connect to, and if it already has an analyzed bee, something that has already been analyzed, it can take the information out of the bee and transfer it into the computer's you know, information store and figure out, you know, stuff, and then we can use a program that we write to automate this guy a little bit. So that's the plan. Meanwhile, coming over here to see, oh boy, I already got a diligent princess. Holy cow. I am rocketing through the bee stuff. So diligent noble, oh my goodness, that's kind of funny. Did not intend to get a diligent noble bee at all. So that's cool. Those are two different types of bees. Two different lines that you can get when you combine common and cultivated. That's why I was a little bit nervous combining the common and cultivated there, but oh well, looks like it happened. Nice. Well, diligent and noble is cool. I really wanted like a pure cultivated bee. Boy, that puts a little bit of a kink in my plans here. You know what I'm going to do, actually, to accommodate this? I'm going to hold on to that princess that's diligent and noble. One of those situations where we got a little ahead of ourselves and, you know, worked out better than we could have expected. I'm going to take this forest bee here, because I probably won't need that guy. Or, I guess, since it's a princess girl. Everybody always laughs at me when I say that. Yeah, I know. What can I say? I'm going to mate that. So what's going to happen is this purebred forest princess will combine with whatever, common cultivated, that's fine. Put all these other bees in here for now and see if I can't work my way up to a nice cultivated bee. But we're going to work on automation in just a few minutes here, so let's get ready to do that. I need to sleep through this night, and then I need to show you guys how to use the Bealyzer. Cool. Alright guys, so I think I've got everything I need here to make this happen. There's only one upgrade I want to get, and that's the inventory upgrade. This guy here, the inventory module. Oh, I need a nether star and 4 eyes of ender. Well, luckily, neither of those things is much of a problem for me. Haha! I get to go fight the wither again. Alright, let's see. I don't think I have an extra wither star laying around, right? Nah, I would have thrown it in here. Alright, gotta go kill the wither because this is a very powerful turtle upgrade, and I guess Richard G determined that it needs a wither star in order to be crafted. Luckily, I decided to do this after I built my wither battle arena. Let's take on this guy. Alright guys, quick wither battle later, and I've got the inventory module. This is a very powerful module for turtles that basically allows a turtle to interact with an inventory a little better than by default. By default, it can only kind of interact with the direction it's facing or kind of relative to its position. With this inventory module, we can interact with all slots of an inventory in a little more of an advanced fashion. And I'm going to kind of explain it to you here. Let's see, what do I got? I'm going to want to place down my turtle right here. And then next to the turtle, let's see, I'm going to want to have an analyzer, and I'm going to want probably to grab another apiary, which means I should probably investigate getting myself some seed oil. Yeah, let me get an apiary going on here. I want an apiary dedicated to this guy, so I'm going to need some wood and some, okay, that's cool. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. 3 of you, I got some wood. Just going to need to get myself a little bit more seed oil. From that, I'm pretty sure I can get some seeds. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Let me get an apiary, and then I'm going to show you guys how this automated bee breeding system will hopefully work. Alright, so I think I'm going to put the apiary here, I'm going to put the beealyzer here, and I'm going to put the analyzer there, and then there's one more component I need. I actually decided to test this a little bit in a test world, and I think I've got it working pretty well. Now, I took the code that I wrote in Season 3 and tweaked it a little bit such that the turtle should never have to move at all. It can stay in this exact position, and it can interact with all 4 of these blocks based on the way it's sitting. Let's go ahead and check out how this is going to work. It should be pretty cool. What I'm actually going to do is take this bee right here, the cultivated forest bee that I've got going on, and go ahead and put her right in here. Nice. Let's figure out how we can get this to work. The first thing I'm going to do is pull down a program. Now, before we can do much with what we've got going on here, and how's this bee doing? Getting along. Just making sure I collect all my honeycombs for centrifuging, because we're going to need a bit of honey. What we can do is, instead of just using the honey drops in the beealyzer, in order for the standalone block to work, this block right here, it actually needs liquid honey, which we get using the squeezer. So we can see the squeezer running here, and we're building up some internal buffer, some liquid honey. So let's go ahead and run some piping over to our block. I should have my axe in here, and I brought myself some liquid ducts to help along with this. So we're going to move this guy out of the way for now and chop our way through the wall. And what I can probably do is connect this thing up and just run it straight along out here. Cool. And we're going to connect it right up to this guy. Not bad. Alright. Guess one thing left to do would be to redstone signal this thing. And of course, give it a hit with the wrench so that it drains out of the squeezer. Oh look, we even get some propolis out of that. It's pretty rare that you get propolis, but every now and then you do, which is nice. We've got enough now to automate our other bee, which I'm going to do pretty shortly. There we go. Honey gets drained out, sent straight over to the block version of the analyzer. Awesome. We can go ahead and cover this walling back up, and hey, the room looks nice again. Cool. Alright, over here, we're going to, I already pulled down from Pastebin. You can see I grabbed this Pastebin code right here. I wrote this code and then I modified it a little bit, and I'm going to walk you guys through it right now. So if you're not familiar with computer craft or how programming works, I'm going to do my best to explain to you how this program runs. But basically, it's a program that's going to analyze the bees that I have, the princesses and drones that get made as offspring over here on the right. And then what the program's going to do is it's going to every time you're going to get at least one princess, right? Well, only one princess ever, maximum at least total. That's exactly how many you'll get. And you'll get at least one, but up to 3 or 4 drones. And what the program's going to do is it's going to identify the princess, and then it's going to identify the best of the 3 drones to mate with in order to get the desired result. So let's take a look. First, we're defining some variables at the top here, and I'm going to go through this kind of quick. We're going to wrap the letter S to the peripheral on the right of the turtle. That's the inventory upgrade module that I told you guys about. And then we're going to define a table of the different types of bees that we can get from the species. Now, there's a bunch more bees because of extra bees, and we can modify this table. And the numbers here represent how good they are. Basically, you can use any numbers you want, and all it's going to do is it's going to be the higher the number, the better the bee. So you can see here I've got all these different bees going on, and you can determine which bee we're going to work towards based on the numbers that we assign things. Sound cool? All right. Then we're going to kind of head over here, look at the apiary. We're going to pull all the bees and the other stuff out. When we're ready to put the bees back in, we're going to use that side peripheral, and we're going to use the sneaky functionality of that inventory, and we're going to tell it to drop the princess in the top of the apiary and drop the drone in the bottom. It's as if you piped items into the top or bottom there. Cool. We have a ditch combs program here, which will identify if any combs get picked up, because sometimes these bees might make combs, and if that happens, we don't want them to get analyzed. Okay, so that's not too bad. And then we have the scan bees program here that's going to go ahead and drop the bees in the analyzer. They'll get scanned, and then they get dropped in the beealyzer to get the data out of them. And then we have a program here to determine the best slot. And the analyze bees function, I have to uncomment out this code. Cool. Maybe I'll do like a little separate thing here if you guys really want me to dip into the code and how it works. But long story short, we should be able to turn the turtle to the right, start him off facing here, and he's going to pull all the bees out. He's going to analyze which ones are the best drones to mate with the princess that we happen to get. I have no idea how this is going to work. Then it's going to, drop any extra bees in the chest down here. You ready to give it a try? Let's run the analyze program. Okay, it's going to grab all the bees, and then it's going to put them in the beealyzer to determine and make sure that they are all in fact bees and that there are not any combs there. Then it's going to go ahead and drop them in the analyzer over here. You can see the forest drone being processed. It's going to wait about 30 seconds or so to have the bee get completely taken care of. Let's see, it looks like it's almost ready. Cool. Let's see how this guy does. Now what he should do is he should be sleeping for long enough for that bee to get processed. And then he's going to pick it up and the program's going to crash. Why did the program crash? Good question. Alright guys, I think I figured out the problem real quick. I'm going to explain it to you. Basically what it was is it seems like the name of the bees changed. I don't know if that's a MISC peripherals thing, if that's a forestry thing, or if that's an extra bees thing. But instead of it just being industrious, it's bees.species.industrious. I don't know, but we're going to test this out now. We're going to make sure the guy's facing the right way, and then we're going to run the analyze program again. The good news is that because the analyzer here did all the analyzing, I can tell you which one of these bees it should pick. This should be the princess, of course, because there's always one. This is a forest drone. It's going to get a score of, let's edit analyze here, and I'll show you if I can spell edit correctly. The forest drone, what it should do is it should take the primary and the secondary numbers and add them together. Well, forest is 1, so it should do 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's the score that this bee will get. This one is a forest cultivated. What that should do is it should take forest, which is 1, and cultivated, which is 6, and combine them for a score of 7. And then finally, this is a cultivated drone, so that should take 6 and 6, that should be 12. So it should take the highest of those three numbers, which is 12, and it should choose the cultivated drone to be the winner. I'll show you the code real quick where that happens. Determine best is somewhere down here. So you can see it takes the number score, and it adds the secondary species plus the primary species number, and then it'll determine if that's the best score it's found so far. Alright, let's run analyze and see what happens. So it should turn around and start doing everything. Now this time, hopefully, we won't get any crashes if I did everything right. Cool. Now since these bees are already analyzed, we don't have to sit here and wait, and we're not going to waste any extra honey. We will have to wait the 30 seconds or so I'll be right back when it's done waiting. Okay, looks like it grabbed the first bee, and that happened to be the, the purebred cultivated drone. So you can see that the current score was 0 because it hadn't identified any bees yet, and the new score is 12. So far, and it tells you what species it is. So it's a cultivated. So far, the best drone is in slot number 1, right here. Now we're going to wait for the second drone to come out. Oh, there it comes, right? So now we just determined that this was the princess, okay? And you can see that what happened, it said is princess is now in slot 2. It tells you what the species is of the princess. And again, it tells you the best drone is still in slot number 1. Pretty cool. So it already identified the princess as being in slot 2. So basically what this program is doing is it's waiting for the analyzer to use the honey to analyze the bee, and then it's tracking down which slot the princess and the best drone go in. This guy came down, and it basically said that this was a forest bee. You can see that's true. The current score is 12, which was this guy. The new score from the forest was 2, as I predicted, and the best drone is still in slot number 1. Cool. Alright, so now we should be about to get to the last bee here. And when that happens, what it's going to do is it's going to turn around, face the apiary, and put the right drone in. Cool, there it goes. So it put the cultivated drone in the bottom because it determined that the best drone, after it analyzed the forest cultivated, gave it a score of 7. The current score was 12. The best drone is still in slot 1. And then it went ahead and dropped all the extra bees down in the bottom slot. And then this bee is going to go ahead and run through, and hopefully, we'll get them to breed. So that is my automated bee breeding machine. What do you guys think? Now, it's not going to go ahead and be smart enough to, let's say, did we sleep through something here? Is it going to be daytime? I don't know. It's not going to be smart enough to go ahead and, take the new species of bees and add them and work their way up. But it will be smart enough to, make this, queen a purebred of the best it can get. So it's going to work its way up to the best possible purebred line, and then once it's gotten that, it's just going to, kind of stick with it. So pretty cool. I'm going to let this run for a few minutes, wait for this rain to stop, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm letting my bee program run. As you can see, it's processing. It's ooh, we've got a purebred cultivated drone here. That's probably a good sign. Now, if it does, by the way, happen to find 2 purebred cultivateds, it will just, I forget which one it picks, but it'll, keep it in mind. I'm also setting up a little bit of automation around this bee right here, my Meadows Queen. I'm going to go ahead and set that up. Oh, you know what I need is one more thing. Let's do this. Make this a little bit easier. Portal gun for the win. Just in case I need to come back because I forgot something. I forget which one of these I need. Probably the smooth stone one, I think. Yeah, smooth stone it looks like. Because I got a little bit more propolis, which means I can automate a little bit more. Cool. Ooh, I've actually got enough to automate 2 more, which is good because I think I'm about to get a purebred cultivated drone, which is going to be huge for us. Cultivateds typically have a very fast production cycle. So just like the other setup here, we want to tell this thing anything, any bee items. So we'll say anything, any bee items. Cool. Just like this guy. Same setup. And then the only other thing here is we're going to want to use our crescent hammer because we want to make this an iron pipe at the bottom. Cool. And I made myself an autarkic gate so that we can automate this whole system. We're really getting pretty good with this automation stuff. I hope you guys are following along and enjoying it. Yeah, there we go. Pulling out items already. Cool. So we should start to see some bees come out of here. Just want to make sure everything flows out properly. Does what it's supposed to. Yeah, there we go. Bee went in there. That bee went somewhere. And then we should have a princess coming up soon. Remember, bees don't stack sometimes if they're not supposed to. Yeah, there we go. Meadows princess. Awesome. Cool. Automation, we're rocking. How'd this thing make out, by the way? Looks like we've got a cultivated forest. Nice. So we did all right. We probably made it with a purebred cultivated. That's fine. So the best drone was in slot number 1 after all at the end. Cool. Now I did make a real quick modification. When I run analyze here, it's going to go ahead and do its thing. Okay, cool. So that I did not account for there being a comb in there. Alright, that's not that big a deal. Oh man, we got Forest Princess again. Would really like to see this be a purebred cultivated. By the way, when it does find combs, it puts them in the chest. Cool. Alright guys, really good news. Thanks to my Autobreeder over there, I wound up with a cultivated princess. Now, like I said, this is your gateway to a lot of the better drones. Also, what's really nice about this is they have a fast production speed. So what's actually happening is they produce a lot more stuff by default than the forest bees or whatever, because most of these guys tend to have a you can see those have fast worker on them, but these guys have slower worker on them. So common drones and some of the forest drones have the fast worker or slower worker. These were the ones that I was using to mate, so you can tell that some of them got the fast worker trait, but most of them have slower. Cool. I'm going to actually keep going with the cultivated line. So I want to actually produce a lot of cultivated drones, so I'm going to automate this real quick. Let's get that going. We're probably going to do that off camera though, because unfortunately we've hit the old wrapping up point for this episode. So good news was that we got ourselves an auto breeding machine. How cool is that? All you got to do really is modify some of the numbers in the analyze table. So what I'm going to do is I made a few minor changes to analyze. So I'm going to paste bin, put analyze. And you can go ahead and download the program there if you want. I'll also add it to my forum thread. You know me, I'll forget, so go ahead and yell at me, because if I don't, I'll get yelled at. So we'll go ahead and put analyze there. All you really got to do is type in the name of the bee that you're targeting over here on the right and give it some numbers. What I'd recommend, for those of you who are newer to this, just, try and figure out what the 2 bees that you're starting with are and give them low numbers. And then the bees that you want to work your way up towards, give them higher numbers. You're going to have to do a little bit of research ahead of time to figure out which bees make their way up to what. But you know what? That's okay. You'll figure it out. Hopefully you enjoyed checking out this auto breeder system with the turtles and the different machines. I think it's pretty cool. All we got to do, like I said, is just combine some bees. So what I would like to do maybe is just run this guy in a bit of a loop. So what I'm going to do is, first off, come over here. I'm going to grab my gate here, because we're going to automate the cultivated bee back there. But then I want to grab from this chest, how am I for princesses? I do have a meadows in here still, right? All right, let's take that one and let's get ourselves a forest bee. Here we go, forest drone, purebred forest. And we're going to combine these two. And what I'm going to do is actually get, not chocolate frames, but soul frames. I'm going to leave them in there full time. And then I'm going to real quick edit auto run. And what we're going to do here is while true do, analyze. Remember, we have to do a shell.run on that. And what this is going to do is it's going to run the program named analyze. Cool. And then we want to sleep for about a minute. So it should take longer than a minute for this bee to live and then die. But what this is going to do is, remember I told you I modified the analyze program here to, it's going to check actually slot number 2. So if the bees happen to produce a honeycomb, it'll go into slot 1. But every time a bee dies, it's going to produce at least 1 princess and 1 drone. So by checking slot 2, we should be pretty well insured against, any problems. So if I run the auto run program, what it's going to do is it's going to check for the bee, and it's not going to get anything, so it's just going to sit there and wait. And what I could even do if I wanted to is just do this. So that every time it sleeps, it's going to print out a message saying as much. So you can see it tried to run analyze, it didn't get anything. So it's going to sleep for about a minute, and it's going to try again. And it's going to sleep for another minute and try again. It's going to keep trying until it actually runs. Once it does run, it'll run through the whole analyze cycle, determine the best bee to combine inside this area, and then it's going to sleep for another minute and keep trying. Like I said, it's going to dump all the excess bees that it collects and all the honeycombs into the bottom slot. Neat. And then yeah, that's awesome. I'm pretty happy with the setup. So I should be able to leave that thing and come back and see what kind of cool bees we get. And I think I'm going to do that. That's kind of my plan. So with this, Direwolf 20 needs to wrap up way past the wrapping up point. So hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Like I said, pretty pleased with the way it turned out. And I'll catch you guys next episode. All right, everybody, take it easy.